Hello everyone, and welcome back. We're back tonight with more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time we finally convinced Gina to let us defend her in court. And today we're going to begin the trial, and I've been told this is a very long trial, so this will probably take me a few streams to finish up. We'll just have to see how I do each day. So, let's go ahead and let's get started. Also, before I start, I just noticed the background looks different. Has that always, has it always been changing throughout the game, or, I mean, and have I just, let me reword my, is this the first time this has happened, or have I just not been paying attention? Anyway, let's go and get started. Trial Part 1. So, let's see how we do. When I woke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. April 17th, 9:32 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Howdy Luna, do you need a refresher? Probably wouldn't hurt. And welcome to the stream, Soup. Just to see if there's anything I've forgotten. That's important. So, Herlock freaked out, went to the pawnbroker because reasons. Right. Gina was there. There was a fight with a blonde dude named Eggert. Oh, yeah. See, I forgot about him. So, yep, definitely a good thing we had a recap. They found a disc which was confiscated. Right. An unfinished manuscript was pawned. Right. Gina went to check it out and was framed for murder. Yep. Herlock was shot. Uh-huh. Susanna left the country after giving you her notes on the McGilded case. Right. You learned how to search for blood and it changes color. Yep. And yeah, I do remember that. It's just funny. It would be funny. That would sound funny out of context. Invented by Hairlock and used by your current assistant. Yep. You will forget. You will not forget the name Eggert anytime soon. Welcome to the stream, Reen. How you doing tonight? You know, I keep saying tonight, and depending on when my viewer shows up, it's not necessarily nighttime. Oh well. If you're like me and hate magic eyes because they won't work for me, I need to give you a mild spoiler. I'll tell you when I get to that point. I don't have a lot of experience with those, so I'll have to see when I get to that point. Actually, go ahead. Now that I think about it a little bit, go ahead. Because I don't need to run the risk that it won't work for me. Were you able to see the cat pop out by crossing your eyes, or did you need the game to merge them? I think I was able to see it. As well as I can remember. Actually, I don't even remember if I tried, to be honest. If you have trouble with a similar event later, just tell your assistant you can't see it and the game will fix it for you. Okay. Anything else before I continue? Just checking. Ice drink doesn't want to stay on the table. I mentioned this because it's an accessibility issue. Yeah, I understand. Oh, and review your evidence and cast before moving forward. Will do. Pawnbroker's ticket box. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbrokery owned by the victim, Mr. Windybank, in the form of some handwritten notes on the back of a photograph. Date deposited February 13th, 9 p.m. Article deposit 1 small box. Loan amount paid 10 shillings. Redemption deadline April 13th, 9 p.m. Mr. Windybanks appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper, so had to use anything he had to hand. It's hard to know what's the front and what's the reverse side now. Gina's representation papers. The paperwork signed by Gina to put me in charge of her defense. Showing this to Scotland Yard detectives gains us access to the crime scene. I, the undersigned, agree to legal representation by the lawyer named here under in regard to the following incident. Defendant Gina Lestrade. Alleged offense, murder of Baker Street pawnbroker. Date of trial, April 17th, 10 a.m. Attorney-in-law, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Okay. Let's see. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbrokery owned by the victim, Mr. Windybank. The blood on it has been identified as Mr. Mason's. One gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid £1. April 15th, 10:30. Mr. Windybank appears to have used the Yeah, it says the same thing you did last time. Blood samples portfolio. 3 samples of blood analyzed with a special chemical indicator developed by Mr. Sholmes. Different people's blood turns different colors. Name unknown. Location, Windybank's main shop. Color green. I suspect this is Herlock's, but we don't know for sure. Name, thrice fired Mason. Object, pawnbroker's ticket coat. Color purple. And Windybank's storeroom is blue. Windybank's blood is blue. And that was found in the storeroom. Okay. A long, unpublished story that Mr. Sholmes deposited at the pawnbrokery of the victim, Mr. Windybank. It is entitled The Hound of the Baskervilles. Yeah, obviously not going to have to read all this. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
That's right. I used Daddy's note to write it. I think it's a great story. I don't know why Hurley's forbidden me to publish it.
Okay, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is done. Downloading. No, it's strange, isn't it? Perhaps it's a problem with the title? Perhaps Mr. Sholmes is a family friend or someone who has that name or something?
Well, it doesn't have quite the same ring to it, but I could change it to the Hound of the Naruhodos.
I'm fairly sure that Mr. Sholmes is a friend of someone who has that name, too. McGilded case notes. Notes collated by Mrs. Otto about the McGilded case that we worked on 2 months ago. Case summary. Victim wound found. Gosh dang it. Omnibus murder. Case summary. Victim found deceased on the last scheduled omnibus of the day after a stabbed wound to the abdomen. Details of victim. Name, Mason Milverton, male. Occupation, brickmaker. Domicile, East End of London. Trial summary. Defendant Magnus McGilden. Prosecution attorney Lord Baroque von Zeeks. Defense attorney Renosuke Naruhodo. Conviction was assured with 3 eyewitness testimonies. However, a surprise 4th witness testimony resulted in acquittal due to insufficient evidence. Okay. Susato, as judicial assistant sent to Britain on a study tour, she's the epitome of a refined Japanese lady and a huge help to me always. Well, except when she's giving you the Susato takedown, but we'll overlook that. Anyway, Herlock Sholmes, the world-famous great detective above whose lodgings Miss Susato and I rent our own office and rooms. Iris Wilson, an extraordinary young girl who lives with Mr. Sholmes. She has a degree in medicine and is the author of a popular series of short stories published in a prominent magazine. I heard that voice acting finally got added to that game. Yeah, I'd heard that too. I guess we'll find out when I get around to playing it. The proprietor of a pawnbrokery on Baker Street that is regularly patronized by Mr. Sholmes. He was shot dead by an unknown assailant. Gina Lestrade, a young pickpocket who we first met during a trial 2 months ago. She's the defendant in this case and was discovered at the scene alongside the victim. As of today? Oh, okay. Guess they timed that pretty well, since today is when it went up for in the PlayStation Plus freebies also. Anyway, Agard Benedict. Oh, we don't know his age, huh? Also, future DLC will have voices by default. Oh, okay. Agard Benedict, a young English gentleman with an aloof and high-handed manner. He appeared at Windybank's pawnbrokery accusing Gina of stealing his redemption ticket. Tobias Gregson, the detective inspector in charge of Scotland Yard's investigation of the case. He's stern and single-minded in his approach and a great lover of fish and chips. And somehow has an endless supply. Lucky for the developers that they managed it just in time for it being a free PS Plus game. Yep. Male Strongheart. The Lord Chief Justice who wields absolute authority in judicial matters, including the appointment of lawyers. He's a thoroughly intimidating man. I wouldn't have guessed he was 52. I guess it makes sense, though. As experienced as he is at this. Okay. All done with that. I honestly think that is no accident. They likely used the money Sony gave them to make it happen. That's possible. Or some of it, right. April 17th, 9:32 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Good morning, Gina. Okay. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it.
So is your friend then?
Sorry?
You know, her in the fancy dress. Susato, or however you say it. I don't know.
Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up.
You alright with that, are you? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off.
It's fine. Susato and I won't meet again. One day. Oh, I hope that's not foreshadowing for something. Anyway.
Even so.
But you, Gina. You only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning!
Good morning, you two.
Hope I'm right about who this is. Yep. Up! Wait a minute, why'd you bring your kitty?
How you feeling, Jenny? Did you manage to sleep? Iris! What are you doing here? What do you mean? When a fan is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Oh, Ricky! Waggy!
great way to show your support, Kitty. Yeah, and we probably shouldn't have let him loose in the courtroom. You're about to meet two of my favorite NPCs in this game. Oh, okay. Because cats are notorious for solving serious crimes, obviously. Okay, fair. I suppose.
Let him have a nose around. What harm can it do? So that reminds me about a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Reno? Jenny?
Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. I'm looking forward to a few minutes from now. Oh, okay.
Nah, always do the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad.
I guess.
Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities.
Personally, I'm with Renosuke. Let's get the bad news over with. What about you two? Which would you want first? Depends? Okay. Fair enough. What about you, Reen? Same? Okay. More serious first, unless the topics are related, then bad news first. Ah, okay. Anyway. Let's not go there.
Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are starting to move.
That's the bad news? I mean, yeah, that sucks, but... Huh? Bad news. Was a weather report?
So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port.
Oh, well, okay. Now it makes more sense. Gosh, yes.
Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it?
It is, but neither one had anything to do with what's going on here.
I couldn't give a monkey's really.
If only all good news canceled out the bad.
And look, this channel has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pickpocket blood.
Tongue twister.
Pawnbroker perishes in pickpocket plunder. See?
How do you like that?
Well, let them say what they want. See if I care.
I can't, because you're covering your face. I love the different ways characters pronounce Susato and Renosuke's names. Yeah.
Don't worry, Reno will show everyone that this headline is nonsense.
I will.
And then, in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be... Discharged diver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Reno?
Oh, yes, let's hope so.
Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it?
It's like she was still here. Today's paper has been entered into the court record. This morning's paper, purchased by Iris. Genius case features prominently. Okay. Oh, well, I was gonna take a look at it. Okay, now I can. Yeah, okay, I already read that.
How awful. For Jenny, I mean.
But tomorrow's headline will be blah 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 blah. Right?
Yes, something like that. If possible, I'd like to go even bigger.
Bigger? How?
Proud pickpocket protects planet Pulse Child. Perhaps?
Okay. Protects planet? Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be so great. There's a sensational story low on the front page as well. Look. Ministry Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news.
It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they're being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted? But how would somebody be doing that?
That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Bruno?
No, of course not! I wonder... Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be, and it could explain why he has Greg's running from pillar to post at the moment.
The details of today's paper have been updated in the court record. This morning's paper, which contains an article about government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. Okay, I assume that's all of this. Yep. Alright.
Good luck then, Reno. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement.
I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest. But... Thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you.
Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Jenny? Well...
Something is all about Shlums. Did they fix him up alright?
Yes, the operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet.
Eh?
I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up.
I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news.
Oh, right.
No Susato-san, and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me, to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom.
It's time then.
Yes, let's go, Gina, Iris.
Lead the way, Reno.
Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. Tobias Gregson, kisser of Iris's butt, eater of fried potatoes, yep. In fact, hang on a minute. Let me read over something I saw earlier. See, it says a great lover of fish and chips, but have we ever seen the fish? Seems like we've only seen the chips. Unless that thing that sticks out from the middle is supposed to be fish instead of a potato wedge. I don't know. Tobias Gregson, kiss her potatoes and eat her fried. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, well, that's enough of that. Anyway, let's continue. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. April 17th, 10 o'clock a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. You know, something that just occurred to me. Does this courthouse really only have one courtroom? Because I remember the ones in Phoenix Wright had more than one. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. Good question. No telling. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Still nervous as a deer caught in the headlights, but ready. Lord Von Zeeks. My lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the Public Prosecution Service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be made aware of that have led to this erratic behavior? And what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today, you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel. There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large.
He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago.
Yes, I just about managed to work that out, thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him.
He wants to suck Narholdo's blood.
That is actually highly possible, all joking aside. Anyway.
And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, the Nipponese.
Oh, wow. Way to lump them all together. What? Did he really just say that? Yep.
He means you now, Reno.
Well, yeah, he's addressing him in this moment, yeah, but okay, never mind. I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? Historically accurate racism, yep. That torrid look of hatred in Lord Von Zeke's eyes that aren't even open at the moment, so whatever you say. Was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people? Allow me to get an explanation, Lord Von Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Okay, who are... Well, I recognize a couple of them. No, actually I recognize 3 of them offhand. Hashtag not all learned students. Yep. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Wait a minute, why is that 4th guy dressed like a doctor now? Hey, yes? What's up, Soup? Isn't that guy on the right the real guy mentioned in the boat chapter? Yeah, I kind of thought he looked familiar, so I think you're right. Can't wait to see this 3rd guy close up. What the heck is that on his head? And yeah, he has a little pet mouse, so he would have had trouble being on board also. Because of the rules of the boat. Anyway. Former lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready.
Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think.
Oh, okay. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. Man, he looks pretty cartoony. I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But could I have?
Women, indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop.
Hi. Have half a mind to give her windy old bag's voice, but I think I'll hold off on that. At least for now. Lol, Mr. Garrett Deb serving jury duty 2 months after his wife. Yep. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Okay. His mouse is adorable, though.
Is something wrong, Bruno?
Oh, not exactly. It's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Yeah, almost. Number 3 is a... Number 3, Stan, is a complete stranger. And I feel like we've seen number 5 before, but I could be mistaken. But specifically in case number 5, I'm thinking of the woman that had the typewriter before. And now she switched to using Morse code, I guess, to work in Morse code.
Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know.
So I've been led to believe, but someone tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Now, Lord Von Zeeks, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. Capcom drew from London's population of 30.
As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pulp Windybank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents the photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say.
Oh!
The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord.
Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please.
The autopsy report has been entered into the court record. A report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner that confirms instant death due to a single bullet wound to the back. There are no other signs of trauma. The crime scene photograph has been entered in the courtroom. A photograph of the victim found murdered in the storeroom. It shows the single bullet wound in the man's back. Speaking of Capcom, they were going to have a showcase. I think it said on the 13th? Was it 13th or the 17th? Later this month, anyway. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this. Oh, sorry, in autopsy, almost instant death. Yeah, hopefully that won't happen here. Anyway, I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there are only two persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. Did number 6 even really understand anything you just said? That's an interesting point you make. I guess we'll find out. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Okay, I didn't say anything before, but no one's gonna... They're not gonna question the fact that she seems to be unconscious at the time. Well. She had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Yikes.
Objection!
We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. My learned Nipponese friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses.
Good gracious!
After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pickpurse or cold-hearted killer. Yes, to establishing the truth.
The court will take the floor plan and firearm and evidence. Add them to the bailiff, please, Lord Von Zeeks.
At once, my lord. The crime scene floor plan has been entered into the court record. A plan of Windybank's pawnbrokery, the scene of the crime. It shows the relative positions of the main shop and the rear storeroom. Windybank's revolver has been entered into the court record. A gun belonging to the victim, Mr. Windybank, that Gina was holding when she was found unconscious. There are signs of a single discharge. Yeah, and if memory serves me right, there was only one bullet in the gun, was there not? This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Reno.
I think that's because it has.
Let us begin! Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on April 16th of this year.
Oh no.
Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court.
Names! Name's not Skulkin. Occupation is buddy. Professional buddy. Name's Jingo Shulkin. Occupation's same as him. Hold on a minute. Nash and Ringo. Skulkin. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right, we're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers. Excuse me? What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. God blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's all the bruv. Lost contact with him we have. So we're scouring every shady corner of this capital. And then last night, we came across you, the very spirit of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is Nash, he is. The very spirit of him. So we decided then what we was gonna do. We was gonna call ya. Big brother Sulky. Come on, leave it out you two. Sulky Skulkin. And that's before he used to run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Oomph. These, are they? These three? Okay, what just happened here? No, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't let me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these 2 brothers illegally entered an establishment with the intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed this proprietor's murder. Order! Order! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question, and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Because a Skulkin's never Skulkin. Sure. Get out of it. I guess that could be a piece of fish. For some reason I was thinking it was just a big potato wedge. Oh well. Illegal entry. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gas door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign big enough for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, God blimey, lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. I wish Long John Silver's was in my town. Yeah, I can see how that would make you hungry for that. We never do. Yeah, I kind of wish there was one here too. There used to be one where I lived, but I don't know. But it closed down at some point. So yeah, it's gone now too. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. Same? Oh, okay. The deli at the grocery store I go to, though, serves catfish, and I tried some of it once. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone who's not a big fan of fish. I thought it was really good. Anyway, that red one has a kind of pug face. Yeah, he does. A terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. And within, only the victim and the accused were found. I know it'll probably come up eventually, but I gotta go and say it. We're just gonna overlook the fact that a second person was shot, huh? Anyway, like I said, I'm sure that'll come up at some point. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yes.
What's the matter, Reno?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Okay. Let's see. The front door of Windy Banks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this? Must have been about 1, right, Ringo? So before you do anything, okay. In him, okay. Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Sulky? How would I know? The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. But there is an achievement in this part of the trial. Oh, okay. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. It seems I remember a little light burning inside. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. Wait, what? What about you, Salt? Give me old muck. sucker. Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Jean Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
That is pure conjecture. Well, perhaps, but that changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door at the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened. Okay, I guess I'll see if I can figure out how to get it. You'd like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was.
Hold it!
What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't they, Ringo? They do not, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. It's hidden, so if you want it, you'll need help, more than likely. Okay, I'll take it then. Cause yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to spot it. They do not, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it? It was no whim, I'm sure of that. Press the first statement? Okay. It was no whim, I'm sure of that. It was not, it was, like we said at the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that the long-lost brother was inside.
They're not very good liars, are they?
Well, you can't deny it. It led us to a bloke what looks just like our bruv. I said cut it out. Those ships are getting a chomping today. And as soon as you do, even though there is no prompt, pursue the other brother. Oh, okay.
Hold it! Excuse me.
Mr. Ringo Skulkin, do you have something to add? Eh, what? Something that was just said just now appears to have got you thinking. Oh, well, yeah. I was just thinking about me bro Sophie. Oh, the one you've lost touch with? Yeah, blimey. He could be a sin sometimes, that one. Always used to give me a share of his grub when we had anything to eat. When we had anything to eat. He sounds like a very kind man. Get out of it! This ship's all mine. I'm not sharing. Okay. Well, did I mess up somewhere? Now, do the opposite on statement 2. Oh, okay, gotcha. Or are you trying to suggest that you had to go in?
Excuse me.
Mr. Nash spoken, do you have something to add? Eh, what? You need to pursue Nash. Oh, okay. Something that was said just now appears to have got you thinking. Oh, well, yeah. I was just thinking about my bro, Sulky. Oh, the one you lost touch with? Yeah, go, he could be alright. Nasty piece of work. Sometimes that's one. Or it's just a name we share and a grub when we didn't even eat. He does sound like a very mean man. Oi! What are you looking at me for, sunshine? Okay, there's the trophy. Sulky story. For having pursued Nash and Ringo when no thought bubble was shown to hear their memories of Big Bro Sulky in episode 5 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. By the way, those statements have no bearing on the case, just for funsies. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? Yep, just the one, Governor. I can swear to that. It was nice, it was. Ain't that right, bruv? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself.
Yes, Mr. Windybank always used to have his gun lying around on the counter.
Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds.
That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded.
That's true. I remember him saying that as well. So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as a murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. Let me read the third one again. What's the gun say? Okay, never mind. Wouldn't see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside.
Hold it!
Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a door could help. Excluding the shop's entrance in the street, there is only one other door, that the storeroom. Of course, there is only a little oil lamp burning, not much to see by. And the door was hidden behind a curtain and all. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Eh? And a normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nosh, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, counsels. So, I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Hold it!
You didn't do it. I forgot I wanted to look at some of the court records. Let's see. Specifically, the two new things added. Actually, did I ever look at these? No, I don't think I did. Details of victim. Name, Pop Windybank, male, occupation, Pawnbroker on Baker Street. Time of death, April 16th, between 1 and 1:30 a.m. Reporting party, Rinosuke Naruhodo. Post-mortem findings, single bullet wound in upper half of victim's back. No other visible signs of trauma. Autopsy findings, instant death from a posterior... What the heck is this word? From a posterior bullet wound to the heart. well, anyway. The bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. This is Mr. Windybank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty.
Mr. Windybank always used to get this gun to hand on his shop counter.
Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded. If I understand.
That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe.
But his one bullet was fired that night and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story?
Well, it was bedlam soon as, wasn't it?
It was not, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of me Lucy lockets. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say?
That's right, governor. Ain't that we ain't more than violence. Peace loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out of me Lucy lockets.
So, you'd clearly like us to believe.
Hey, come again?
As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person?
Science alive! You fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, governor! You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway?
It was.
Freaking so dark and dreary here, my body is like I'm not doing a dang thing. Really? Is the weather making it like that, or is the sun just starting to go down? And welcome to the stream, Jagoon. How you doing tonight? Renosuke not making you do extra work and just calling them out on their bullshit. Yeah, I know, right? It's been raining cats and dogs here. Oh, I see. Yeah. That kind of weather does that to me too, to be honest. Why the bleeding Noah? Did you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes.
They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been in Hurstville Hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, it's been drying lizards and buffalo grass here. As for here, it was warm, but also pretty windy. For some reason, so... I guess kind of in between you got the two of you. In between the weather you two have, maybe?
I don't know. No rain all year so far. Yikes. Anyway, on the night in question, these pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly get them away. And we searched. A firearm was indeed found in their possession. Oh really? And when were we going to be told that? Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Every time you get rain downstream, and I hope the wind will blow the rain over here, I'll start hoping for that as well. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, Counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. The Skulkin brothers' gun has been entered in the court record. A firearm found in the possession of the Skulkin brothers upon their arrest. There are signs that a single round was fired. Just a single round? That seems like a two birds win-win situation. Yep. So there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of these revolvers, 6 cylinders. Okay, I guess it was just one then.
Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it.
Exactly. Is it really appropriate to drink blood during a trial? You wouldn't think so, but I don't know. It's what he's doing, so not really, but I get your joke.
The bullet that hit Hurling, in fact, isn't it?
Yes, it happened almost as soon as we'd walked in the Windy Bank store.
I'll make those brothers pay. I'll make those brothers pay.
Okay, that's all I can look at here. Now I learned Nipponese strength. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial.
Objection!
Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. Yeah, sad but true. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to trust your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windy Banks that night. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night? Okay. I believe it would be this. Although we don't know who this was, but the fact that where the place where the bullet lands kind of proves. Anyway, so yeah, let's give it a go.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, Counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein? Yes, my lord. No more dallying then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unload a firearm at the scene? Well, this one, obviously.
Take that!
What is that? Explain! It's a photographic print taken at Windy Bank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windibank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight. But this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun at the pawnbrokers that night. No! Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Von Zeeks? If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Eh? Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. Well, the deal. You weren't going to get into them details. A deal? Van Zeeks, come on. Don't start going Edgeworth on us now. Tell him, Soaky. Set the bloke straight. I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zeeks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Von Zeeks? As has been established, at the point of the arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. In other words, these two men, have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. So that's it. That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, forgery, and, let us not forget, attempted murder. Just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Quite a catalog, eh, fellas? Wait for it now, bruv. Let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Holmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric? Says who?
Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop.
Oh! That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. Oh? As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. Prodigal means unwanted. Oh, okay, gotcha. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, the respective positions are here and here. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the 30-minute intervals. One can only play that they would be criminal linguists, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. You hear that's a bit of fried tuck, eh, bruv? Since, as you might remember, the victim had previously complained about the coat. True. Hey, look, Lodge is skulking. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Eh? Must have been just after 1. Right, bruv? Must have been, Nash. Must have been. Yeah, just gone 1.
in which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Oh. Gina? Is there something you need to tell us? I'm still not suspecting her, obviously, just saying she might have left out some detail.
Good lord! It's the defendant! Miss Gina Lestrade!
As the court can clearly see. The accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom.
Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel.
The photograph of Gina has been entered into the court record. A photograph taken automatically by the red-handed recorder, showing the scene a short time before the murder took place.
Ugh.
I don't believe it, Jenny. In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank.
Ah!
I say, my lord.
Oh, I say, my lord. What if I might put in a word at this point? Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a body bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwan, 1888, don't you know? Decorated for it and all, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see? The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and all for one.
The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand?
Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a matter of speaking, yes. That is the Garadeb squadron's position. Stop! What? No! It's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report for the court, men. On the double.
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes to making decisions, too.
I think you'll find the truth as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there. Just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember. Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky.
Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned.
But Janet didn't shoot him.
No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well, the court grants permission.
So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising.
I know it's not important, but sir, but how much? But how much has this man spent on these bottles of wine that he brings to court every time? Because you can't tell me it's the same bottle each time. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chops. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Yeah, if it's so unsurprising, why you gotta bring it up, Lestat? True. The jurors' contentions. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketer.
As housemaid, I should like to see all filthy arseholes promptly and rigorously eliminated.
I think you'll find that if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. I have 5 left in there. I should think there'll be repercussions by now. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of verdict. To follow. Stop. In motherland, when we say never judge by clothes, just by head. I am convinced the brothers are innocent. I don't know, to me that should apply to Gina too, but oh well. The circumstance of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively.
The storeroom looked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hands, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses.
So, are some of these making you think, what the fudge are they talking about? Yeah. Not to mention this print. Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bullet trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder.
I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windybank. Which means there's more to the situation that we've yet to see.
Agreed.
You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. Jury examination. The defense's rebuttal. Yeah, I'm definitely wondering what the heck he's talking about. You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garradeb, aren't you? We really must stop being like this. Oh, you're that lawyer chap? Well, there's a turn-up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously. I wouldn't be suggesting that, therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Loud, loquacious, slinky landlord! Well, can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garradeb house was the talk of the town after that business. Law just moved out and I couldn't get a ball soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. I haven't had Dawn to break the news to Joni yet, bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do a rather a lot, but not for us, that's for Dashson. I suppose not. Of course, there can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning toward guilty here, obviously. Obviously. But honestly, I really wish you'd pay more attention to the trial, unless to juror number 2.
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see. Again.
A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain.
What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores?
On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpurses, and craftsmen, the scum of the earth.
A little harsh, perhaps?
Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals.
You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Renosuke should drink some water with all his sweaties dripping. Very true.
That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Round's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders, cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital.
Mr. Sholmes, a maid?
It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum have the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective.
Also, so should you. True. Minor detail. It was the 2 brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant.
A minor detail. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway.
Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should be swung for shooting the great detective.
Alright. If you just imagine Sholmes in a maid outfit, I am sorry / you're welcome. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
Hold it!
Yeah, definitely need to know what the heck he's talking about. Photograph in stereo. Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally. It looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously. Well, yeah.
Objection!
But there's no indication the defender ever fired the gun. What I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, you could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how'd you know? Yeah, how indeed. Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, it's captivating, it's the heart of modernity. Of course. Oh, yes, I think I'll find the stereoscope is here to stay. At least until the 3D viewfinder is invented. Gives us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only you could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. So his statement didn't change, did it? Yep.
Hold it!
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. Oh, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors, oh no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you've left behind? Oh, well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday, standard thing, went in through the abdomen. But when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly, surely not, you say to yourself, didn't you? Don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fella's belly? No! Of course I couldn't! So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. That's exactly my concern, and seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. Okay, what in the world?
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? Are you from the Far East? Stop! Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with the Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey.
Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cable have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable? On the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it.
You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop!
And just when I was starting to catch up.
Radio transmissions to future. Stop! Messages carried over airways to four corners of the globe. Stop! Excitement growing. Stop! Atmosphere. Electric. Stop!
Alright. Try not to wear out your fingers.
Hero of wireless telegraphy. Stop! Driving technological revolution. Stop! And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle! I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys.
Excuse me.
Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt you, and you're obviously fuming, but... What?! Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do! Say that again! Go on! I dare you! Goodness, are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs of a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you've never even noticed before. What?
Have you got any, Reno? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope?
How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can! Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Give me 1 more print and I'll make sure. Wait a minute. Do you have 2 prints? No, I don't. Oh, wait a minute. No, wait. I think you should back down for now. Yeah, if it'll let me. Fine, I'll just pick something at random, I guess.
Take that!
Wait, sorry? What do you mean, 1 more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have those in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works?
Bruno!
What?
You need 2 photographs for stereoscope, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
You know, 1 for the left eye and 1 for the right.
Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbrokery is just a normal photograph. No, I think you'll find. The clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. I think they need to be fairly similar for it to work. Yeah. Like I said, I was just presenting something to get out of this. Thanks for the friendly explanation.
Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then.
I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Let's get things back on track, shall we, Counsel?
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not Violin Borshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Duh. I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor. As you'll see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, or autocrat. And which glove fits? Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I'd like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right. That didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like vicious criminal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. I have so much sympathy for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look. The Skulkin brothers? Maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. But they have done nothing wrong. That is all I want to say. All what I want to say. Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night? Alright, well, first of all, that's one so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris.
What is it, Reno?
The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they?
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary?
I wish I knew.
If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over.
But we know that Jenny would never shoot anyone.
Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. Okay, so let's break this down a bit, okay? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I forgot to turn the mic back on. I was thinking for a moment, sorry. Let's see. I was saying this guy is speaking nonsense. I believe, anyway. At least for now, yeah. Let's see. Mind made up song. So let me summarize the points, okay? Juror 1, all evidence points to Gina, right? Juror 2, the witnesses are pieces of scum who are bad, right? Yay, stereo! Yeah, pretty much. For, am I a doctor? Five, well, I'm convinced. Yep. Six witnesses are good boys who, as far as I know, have done nothing wrong. Well, then we never judge by clothes, judge by... Oh! So maybe these two. Number 2 and number 6. At first I was thinking number 1 because of number 6's first statement, or the first half of his statement. But yeah, I think it's these two. Number 2 and number 6, I mean. Well, we'll see if I'm right.
Objection!
Statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord! Counsel, explain yourself.
Oh my statement contradictory.
Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. You know, a thought just occurred to me. If this mouse's name is Fievel, I'm done. And kudos to anyone who gets the reference. Greatest line in AA7 history. Ace Attorney history. Welcome, Shannon Cabbage. I'm glad you could join us tonight. How you doing? I just now noticed it says this isn't your first time being here. Did you used to go under a different name? Somewhere out there, yep. Soup gets it. Anyway, let's continue. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver.
Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand.
Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear.
Abdomen.
Sir?
Sorry, my English is still learning.
You are telling the court you didn't hear? Is the mouse looking at the book? Well, I guess he finds it amusing. Or she. I don't know.
Forgive me, I did not hear.
Ugh.
Ah, here is word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker.
Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again?
So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying?
Maybe!
They said before, we never done nothing. Until they shot detective. Duh, this is double negative.
Luna, you called the language barrier. Yep. Yes, that's exactly right. Oh no, the poor mouse! Don't squeeze him like that!
Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by person who looks like criminal.
Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced.
This means when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true?
Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods are found, so...
Enough! I trust no one now.
Stop being mean to the mouse, though. It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir.
I must see what's on noise. I must investigate Compton myself.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Yes, it is, Reno. Easily.
Sorry?
The print from Hurley's red-handed recorder.
Ah,
If you compare the print that pictures Jenny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not.
oh, true.
Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor.
True. Is that what... Is Cooey just what she called Von Zeeks? Not the history. No, I guess not, but... oh well.
Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Tut tut. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused abducting the victim at the Shibokadori shop is this one. Following these, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot rang out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' fight. Flight. I said that as fight, my bad. Okay.
So this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell. Nothing has been taken.
That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. Wait a minute. So the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot the man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right, I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. Oh, okay.
Yay, well done, Rideau. The balance is shifting.
Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. If I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favor still. Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand a new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Thank you. Thought we were about to forget about that. Post-shooting photograph. A photograph taken automatically by the red-handed recorder showing the scene after the murder had taken place. The post-shooting photograph has been entered into the court record. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. We can, but I want to check it myself first. In Lake of Lies there are many dead fish. We must find trash. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict. Oh, hello. Yeah, I noticed something missing. I mean, something different. Not missing, per se. So it's not exact, but anything that is ever so slightly off should pop up in 3D. Yep. Anyway, yeah, let's get on with this. Wait a minute.
Hold it! Take that!
Yeah, I knew we were supposed to do with them, but I wanted to take a look at the second one myself first. To see if I could tell anything different.
Take that!
Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Please stop that. Do you understand the principle? So, I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were in depth. As if it were depth. Yes, exactly.
It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important.
The 3D effect on the Nintendo 3DS works on this principle, by the way. Yeah, that makes sense. So, what happens if you use two photographs? And with that in mind, wasn't this game originally on the 3DS? We just never got that version in the US, or in North America. You can thank the Conan Doyle estate for that one. Makes sense. Explains why they had to give him the name used in the stories about, in the books about Arsène Lupin later on. And yes, I'm aware of that. That one time, the author of those books, Maurice LeBlanc, did use Sherlock Holmes in his stories, but yeah, then he was told. I don't remember if he actually got into legal trouble, but he was told he couldn't use the character anyway. And that's where the name Sherlock Holmes came from. Yeah, with that bit of trivia in mind, I actually wonder how many people who played this game thought maybe that was just another of the Ace Attorney's infamous puns. Name puns. So Seki can't stand that hair lock. Nope. Anyway, so what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for saying the same thing dimensionally, anyway.
Oh! Oh! Of course, now I see.
Oh, I think the young girl has discovered the secret.
I have!
Okay, so please stop looking at us like that. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me?
Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Reno. Go on.
Hope I'm at a right angle to do this, to even try this.
Can you see that there's a really obvious difference between them?
Well, I already saw that. Of course there is. There are two people in the first, but no people in the second. Well, yeah, if you want to point out the obvious.
Well, yes, you can see that straight away. But now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions.
Like I said, I don't know if I can get a right angle to do this. Just a minute. Yeah, I don't think I can do it, but I still already kind of... I still already can tell a bit of a difference. Just from looking at the two pictures separately. Alright, I'll give it a go. So, to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly. Yeah, I can't do that. But like I said, I pretty much already grasped it from looking at the two pictures. In fact, yeah, I still see it now. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pins from each picture overlap in the middle. Well, like I said, I know I can't do that. Wait.
Well, did you manage to see it properly, Reno?
Well, again, I couldn't do it the way the game is telling me to. But at the same time, I kind of already can see the difference, but I guess I should go ahead and say not really anyway. Just to make sure I get this right. Basically, instead of doing what the game wanted me to, I kind of played spot the difference. I'm just not very good at this. That's the trouble.
Oh, don't worry. I have just the thing. I happened to bring it with me. A portable stereoscope.
I know I mentioned this yesterday, but if you've had that contraption with you from the outset, you could have saved me staring at Mr. Windybag and Gina like I hate them all that time.
And if you remember, I said in reply that it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes.
Yeah, but not everyone can do that, apparently.
Anyway, why don't we try using this helpful little aid now? Here goes.
Now, let's see what we've got. Wait! Look at that! Ah! What's going on with these two pictures? Some of the things on the counter they sort of jump out at you. Sorry, I'm laughing at the judge. But at least we know Von Zeeks can't do it either. Yes, that's it, you see. That's the other amazing power stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope? As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures. Except again, I can kinda tell they had. This shows that actually, there must have been a slight shift in their positions.
Yes, there must have been.
Now hold fire there, sir! Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why the devil does this shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fella? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What? Me? I haven't the first idea.
You know, Reno, it's quite simple.
It is?
Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means...
That means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zokas! Whatever that means. Someone tampered? New information! Stop! Not to mention the testimony so far! Stop! Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop are moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. So fun fact, Soup, today is Mick Foley's birthday. Um... Okay, so I can't look at anything else. Well...
Take that!
It was the witnesses currently in the stand. The Skulkin brothers. Nice, I saw his wrestling persona Dude Love on Pop Vinyl. I should go buy it. Wait. This does not agree with what Buddha said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull Dukes from Lucy Lockets. My Facebook says Dukes is meaning hands, and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on a minute. You can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pickpurse, after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal.
I think that's unlikely. And why, exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windibank to open the storeroom door. Jumps off the roof onto a mattress covered in thumbtacks. Okay, Dragoon. In other words, Mrs. Strahd's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony.
But the accused is a pickpurse. Come and get it, Trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here?
Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse, than a pickpurse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Oh wait, I'm supposed to get thrown through the cage onto thumbtacks. Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair. Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes on playthings. You've seen the extraordinary potential firsthand. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Well, it would seem this trial is yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion, with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue.
Yay, well done! Oh, by the way...
What?
You should hold on to this, Reno. You never know when it might come in useful.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely. But alright.
The stereoscope has been entered into the court record. A fold-up device that allows anybody to enjoy seeing things in 3 dimensions simply by looking through the eyepieces.
Lord Von Zeeks. You will instruct the witnesses if the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sorry to spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. To be continued. Alright. Well, we've made some progress. And overall, I didn't do too badly tonight, I don't think. If anyone in my chat disagrees, you can be honest. Anyway, let's go ahead and save here. And yeah, this is where we will end the stream for tonight. So, hope you all enjoyed tonight's stream. As always, you can follow my YouTube channel link below to see my past streams. Just a sec. Sorry about that, my mom came in. Anyway, as I said, you can follow my YouTube channel link below to see my past streams, as well as my Twitter account, to be notified of any announcements. Because, yeah, so far I haven't figured out a way. I guess I'll have to start manually posting when I start a stream when I'm not using the PS4. Which will, hopefully, fairly soon be every time. Anyway, so, but yeah, anyway, you can find both linked below. And if you stick around, and I'll be back, I'll be back tomorrow night to continue playing, Star Ocean First Departure R. So hope I'll see you then, and if you stick around, I'll be dropping a host. Let's see. Let's see. Let's host Ryoshin, who's playing Wild Arms 2, so hope you'll stick around for that. And I hope you all have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye.